Let's go.
What's going on, folks? How are y'all doing today? It's good to be
Hello,
back.
everyone. How are
Yes,
you? How are you?
I took a week off, from streaming. I
Yeah.
missed you guys. I am your favorite friendly neighborhood beard bro, Mr. Kennedy, and I am joined once again by the beautiful, illustrious, smart, and laid back, nice hairdo, Kelsey Fearless.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken. It's wonderful. It is great to be back. It is great to be back. How are you?
Me too. It's good. It's good to do, to just go through a week and just relax because I've been all smiles. I got a new car. I got to spend time with my mother.
Oh, new car. Ooh, very good. I actually saw it. Very, very good. Very, very good. Yes, yes. I was a bit late because of a family emergency. I apologize. So should we crack right into it?
Yeah, definitely. And I hope everything is going well. We got a heavy show for y'all today.
Yep.
And it's going to be very Nintendo heavy, but we'll start with the video game news first. First off, Microsoft released Genshin Impact for the Xbox consoles. Now, for those of y'all who know, it was exclusive to PC and PS5. Well, Sony for the longest. So now they put Genshin Impact on the Series X and S, which would have been nice when I had it because I wouldn't have to use my iPad to free and play the damn game.
Yeah, hold it up to have to put in icebox. I've seen people play it on their phones and their phones are like overheating, oh man, it's always funny.
Yeah, well, with games that powerful, that's what it's going to be, I mean, look at the Resident Evil games on the iPhone 15. That damn thing gets hot enough you could cook eggs on it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it's like I'm trying to wonder why Microsoft is focusing so much on putting games on other consoles instead of working on their own stuff. It makes no sense to me.
No, it really doesn't. And a big thing is I'm kind of wondering how desperate Microsoft. Well, we know how desperate they're getting. Okay, but a huge thing, because I remember when I was playing Final Fantasy 14, this was a big thing, right? Why can't we have Xbox? Why don't they play this on Xbox? The problem is Microsoft wants their own servers. Microsoft had kept games, and that's a huge thing. Is Microsoft refused to share servers with Nintendo, so they refused. So, but Final Fantasy 14, lo and behold, finally on Xbox. So I think what they're doing now is maybe they're conceding defeat, and instead of paying for their own servers, they're just okay, fine. We'll contract out we'll contract out your server in some way. Yeah, it's just interesting.
They're basically going the Sega route. Sega went from being competition to Nintendo to putting their games on Nintendo. I mean, I bet people were freaking, their minds were blown when they saw Sonic the Hedgehog on a Nintendo console.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
They was like, man, I thought that would never happen, but I think that's what's going on. Everybody's focusing on the whole streaming thing. We'll talk about the handheld later, but I don't know what's going on over there with Microsoft, but it's pretty damn sad because, as I said before, I don't like options taken away from me, and I know I crack on a lot of shit. But I do like Microsoft. I do like Sony. And I could tolerate Nintendo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And at their peak, at the end of the day, they're all corporations. All right. They're waiting, they're going to do anything to continue making the money go up. Right. That's a huge thing. It's just, it's weird to see it now. It's weird to see them trying to adapt to this new era of streaming, and I almost feel like they're too late. I feel like a lot of them are too late. people are sick of streaming services.
Well, I know for
But I
a
guess
fact
not.
that.
I guess Game Pass is so valuable, though.
Well, I know they're struggling hardware wise. Like all companies
Yeah.
pretty much struggling hardware sales, and it's it's all for different reasons. Like with Nintendo, it's because the Nintendo Switch it was old on arrival, and the Nintendo fans are asking for a new system, but Nintendo does what Nintendo does.
Nintendo does do.
And Sony keeps releasing the same consoles for higher prices. The Pro really doesn't have anything that the original PS5 doesn't have. Like, get the hell out of here. And Microsoft is too busy trying to bundle this stuff with Amazon and trying to be a variety thing instead of being a gaming company.
Yeah, and maybe now I just thought of that. Maybe that's their current solution to the fact that they're they've hit a wall graphically, right? I wonder if that's their solution to this, is to just stream it from their. I'm starting to wonder if that's the most attractive option at this point, right? We cannot, if we're hitting a wall and the graphics, graphically, and we're just not there in terms of hardware. If you have a fast connection, you can stream in 1080p 60, no problem.
Yeah,
right. You can stream that way, no problem.
Yeah, but let us remember the Google Stadia, and how that went over. That went over like a wet fart in church because it was so bad and it was so unstable that you couldn't play it.
And let us. I did have NVIDIA GeForce was pretty good. Or GeForce, not theirs was pretty good, but that's NVIDIA. But I will say though, that is also the beginning of the end for ownership. We're already at the beginning of the end, right? We're already at the beginning of the end of ownership, but if they go full streaming, it's done.
Yeah. I mean, for
consoles, it's done.
Like we said before, that's where gaming is going to go. It's going to be all cloud-based. And you're right, the NVIDIA GeForce, I had that when I had the Samsung Chromebook that I had a couple of years ago, and it worked pretty damn good. I didn't have any problems.
Oh, yeah.
No stuttering or anything like that. But I mean, again, this is Microsoft we talking about. And it's while it's a viable option, there is no way in hell that Nintendo probably 10 years from now will probably do that, because you know how slow they are when it comes to stuff. Remember when the Nintendo 64 came out, Nintendo was stubborn. They wanted to keep cartridges while Sony got this and while Sega went to this. And that's why their games didn't look as good.
Well, man, look at Resident Evil 2 on OG Resident Evil 2, and then on N64. Look at the cutscenes. Mm-hmm. The cutscenes are they were a blurry mess back then, but now on here, it's a super blurry mess. Also, I'm going to go over to chat because a lot of people made some good points here that I want to go over. Because first, Ezio said that PlayStation Portal has a cloud-based gaming beta. Yes, and I noticed that about Microsoft, and it works pretty well. I have already seen this with NVIDIA. But the thing is when I'm talking about NVIDIA doing this, I have a 2015 NVIDIA Shield. This has been done. This has been done, and I have seen it work. It's just, I am going to now read Igor's comment, because there is no way streaming works for third world countries. That is the other problem. And honestly, that's kind of a huge negative, because a huge reason that the Xbox 360 sold so well was because it was so easy to mod. I do remember that it was incredibly easy to mod, so people in third world countries could just pirate any game they wanted, right? So Xbox will definitely be shutting out. Well, it already is. We've spoken about this before. Xbox is like completely cooked in the Middle East. They're thinking of like completely pulling out even. Right? Like they're thinking of pulling out sales, and a huge part is probably that like the price of games is prohibitive now.
Well, I think that honestly, if they were smart, they would keep consoles around, especially for those countries who can't, who don't have the strong internet and stuff like that, because they would be losing millions of dollars if they cut off the hardware to where other countries like third world countries, as Igor said, they're losing a lot of money as it is. Can they really afford to cut off half of the world? Like, come on now. That wouldn't be smart.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would not be smart.
I have no clue.
And it's like I just hope that they weigh this stuff out before they just dive in head first, because not everybody has good internet. Not everybody has good cell phone service, and sure as hell you can't rely on mobile hotspots, because that shit don't work. So
nope.
And it's like
exactly.
I don't know. It's very scary how things are gonna go. Anyways, though, speaking of Nintendo and the Nintendo 64.
Yes, speaking of.
It looks like the Nintendo 64 might be making a comeback. It says in 2025, not directly from Nintendo, which concerns me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Analog, a retro gaming company, is releasing the Analog 3D, a console.
Oh, yeah, this.
A console that plays original Nintendo 64 games in 4K resolution via HDMI, priced at $249. This console is just like an emulator, but it's designed to play Nintendo 64 cartridges natively. I'm sorry.
I am so sorry. Like, the speedrunning community is going to be on its fucking head. I totally forgot about the cartridge running natively. I forgot about that part. Anyways, continue. Sorry. I totally forgot. The speedrunning community is going to be in shambles. There's probably going to be a new category for this.
Well, it's saying
continue, sorry.
It's saying that it's not going to have any emulation issues or input lag or graphics inaccuracies. So it says it's running at 4K resolution, original display modes, and controller options, wireless connectivity with Bluetooth LE support for wireless controllers, and dual band Wi-Fi capabilities. It's saying that it'll be released in the first quarter of 2025. Now,
I want it so bad. I want it so bad. Sorry.
You know that Nintendo is going to be all over them. Like Suntan.
That was a question. I was wondering if they have a licensing thing.
I sure hope
I didn't look that up. I haven't looked that up, right? But yeah, I want it so bad. And that, like, when I saw that, yes, I wanted that so bad as soon as I saw it, man. And it was just like, that was my thought too. I hope it doesn't get pulled, because if it does get pulled like that, like, good luck ever getting one that's not for like $5,000.
Well, I hope for their sake they do have a Nintendo license, because you know how sue happy Nintendo is, and they will not hesitate to have that thing shut down, just like they had the retro handheld that we talked about. Yes.
Okay, here's the thing though. I have a plethora of N64 games, okay? A plethora of N64 games, N64 carts. When we were young, sorry, Mother Fearless, we lent the N64 with our game to like a friend, and we never got it back. So something like this, where it can play it again, would just like make my heart sing, because just being able to take my old cartridges and just use it, because emulation for N64 is like not a huge problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, sorry. Emulation is a problem for the N64, actually.
I know they
On
struggle.
PC, it is actually a problem.
I know
Yes.
they struggle for the longest to get a emulator
Yeah.
that worked.
Yeah.
You know, and I got the Nintendo 64 back in 1997, and my father bought it for Christmas for us, and he bought the PlayStation for my brother. And I had that console all the way up, I believe, until 2014, and then it died. And my father's like, and I better get my money's worth out of this console, because you know how much this thing costs. So I joke with him. I joke with my dad. I'm like, did you get your money's worth out of that? 97 to 2014.
Man. Right, man. I've had 3. I've had the N64, which I believe Harvest Moon, which is even worse. I can't remember. I've had Pokemon Sapphire. And the worst one, I am so betrayed. I lent my buddy Legend of Dragoon, and he traded it for $5 worth of weed to someone I knew. And then like 15 years later, I asked the guy, like, do you still have it? He's like, I can look for it. And then I just never saw it. But yeah, like, never lend games. There's a few people I would lend physical copies of, like, my OG Silent Hills and stuff. There's a few people I would. But other than that, like, nah.
I would trade a size 19 boot in his ass. Because it's like, dude, like, come on, man. Respect people's property.
I was so mad.
Respect people's property.
So mad.
I don't think people know what borrowing means. When you borrow something, that means you got to give it back. And you trading somebody's stuff like that, you know, come on, bro. I don't like that. That's why I don't lend people nothing. Like, the only thing that I'm like, I'll lend my brother something because we cool, you know, we're close like that. But everybody else, the hell with that. You ain't borrowed nothing of mine.
Yeah. Yeah, but man. Oh man, it's already wait, what the fuck? It's already for sale.
Yeah. It's
already for sale.
I mean, Nintendo, like, we'll just have to wait it out because we don't know if Nintendo is going to get a hold of this stuff or not, or if they even down with that. And knowing Nintendo like we do,
Analog 3D.
I don't think that that Nintendo is gonna be too happy about that.
Why must on the website, like, why must in the preview the game cart that's in the N64, why must it be Banjo-Kazooie? Like, now I am, like, dying. Like, I feel like a man in a desert being shown a photo of a crisp glass of water or brisk iced tea, you know? Anyway, sorry.
I honestly,
I am, like, hyped for that. I want it.
Even though I had the 64, once I got a hold of Resident Evil, like, once I saw Resident Evil and Dino Crisis and Metal Gear and stuff, like, I literally just left the Nintendo 64 back in the dust. I'm like, I'm going to PlayStation.
Yeah.
No, I held on to the 64.
They're already out of stuff.
I held on to the 64 for 2 reasons. And that was because my father told me to. And the other reason was I was holding off for the next Metroid game. But we never got a Metroid game for the 64. And I was like, come on, man.
That's so bad.
Yeah, funny story about that. I'll tell y'all a quick story because it's story time with Kennedy again.
Story time.
When I got the Nintendo 64, I wanted Mortal Kombat Trilogy, but they didn't have it, so my father ended up getting us Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. And that game sucks. Oh my god. That game is so bad, man. Like, I mean, now you look at it now, but it's so bad that it's funny that it's good. but back then I was like, oh my god, this game sucks.
I, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And I remember
Yeah,
being disappointed at that. I'm like, oh, Mortal Kombat Mythology. That's like one of the worst Mortal Kombat games ever made.
right.
Like it was Sub-Zero, but it was like a 2D side, not 2D, but it's like a 3D side scroller. But it was like with the
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat controls that you're used to. And I'm like, oh my god, this game sucks.
yeah.
Oh man, holy crap! But yeah, it would be cool to bring that back, but I don't see Nintendo going for this because they sell the Nintendo 64 stuff on their crappy service.
They're already gone. They're already sold out.
And I think that'll probably be the only time that they can do that.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. I don't know. I don't
Exactly.
know. Now let's talk about this GOG game preservation program. Because I think we got a good thing going on here.
Yeah.
It says, hold on, let me pull up the article here so I get the full thing here. All right, where are you? I got so many tabs open. There we go. It says the GOG Game Preservation Program. Great games often find themselves cast aside by developers and abandoned for years until a technological leap makes it virtually impossible to play them. So basically what this program does, the core message is to keep classics working on modern computers without inconveniencing the player, while also providing accessible tech support to help smooth over any problems. And I think that's a good thing that they're doing, because they're right. There's a lot of games that we can't even find anymore, that we can't even play on PC at all, because once you've been on there with the Sony stores and the Microsoft stores, they remove video games and you can't play it anymore.
And GOG is also DRM free. So basically, like, you own the game forever. It's all DRM free. Like, you can just get the installer, and if I have any GOG games, I just keep them. I just keep them on a different drive. Keep all my GOG games on a different drive, because I can just give you everything, no DRM. It's just like I love it. I love it. And yeah, like Ezio said, yeah, it's the CD Projekt Red guys, obviously, right, who do GOG. So which is kind of, it reminds me of Valve, where you can tell these people love games. But yeah, GOG is so good for that. Even their old games, they will come, like, man, they make it so easy. If I want their games will come with like DOSBox and stuff already installed. Like, it's perfect. It's beautiful. You don't have to do any of the work. So streamlined. You keep the games. But yeah, I noticed they brought the Resident Evil. I'm wondering what they're going to do, if they're going to do Silent Hill, because I'm going to see, because they already have Silent Hill 4 on there. Silent Hill 4 is already on there. So I wonder if they're going to put like 1 to 3 on there.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice because, like I said, they're thinking from a gamer's point of view and not a businessman point of view.
Yeah,
exactly. What I mean? They're like, we want to actually help the gamers, because, like I said, there's a lot of games that we don't even have access to anymore, that Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, they have no intention of ever bringing those games back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that sucks, because can you imagine not being able to play Outbreak anymore?
Yeah, I know.
And games just gone to the dustbin of history. And I don't like that. So I like what they're doing, and I just hope that they have the licenses to be able to do that. You don't think anybody's going to come after them, are you?
Yeah. Exactly. But it's nice. It's good. It's good. So I'm glad I have PC. That's why I'm so glad I have PC. Like there's so many there's just so many different yeah, there's just so many different games that are just like gone forever. I know there's the phone games of Resident Evil were just preserved, and my buddy Horp, he um he was like speedrunning it and playing it because it like just got preserved. Just like things like that. Like thank God for PC.
Yeah, I mean, because we can keep these things, you know, in the forefront so that people don't just forget about them, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, if more companies need to do that, because it's like I know why Sony and them are doing that. They wanna sell it, but it's like, you know, look at what they're doing with Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis is locked behind a paywall, their premium subscription.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry.
And I'm like, who wants to pay for that just to play Dino Crisis when you could just go to GOG and just and just buy it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it makes no sense to me, man. And it's like they're gonna be doing shit like that. Nintendo with their streaming service and how they breadcrumb people. That's the problem with the Nintendo streaming service. Like they put one good game, maybe a couple of months. And then it takes them another couple of months to add a game. And most of the time it's games people don't even know or want to play. And I'm like, just put the whole library on there.
Right?
And I know that they can. People have been begging for GBA games, Game Boy games on there and stuff. Like, why can't y'all put that up there?
Licensing.
It's their stuff. Most of it is their stuff.
Well, it depends, right? If they're the publisher or the developer. That's a big question.
You're right.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, that's also the other thing. So I think it becomes like, do I really want to hire a bunch of lawyers for this game to meet up with their lawyers so we can discuss another thing is like if the developer even still exists, like trying to track down who holds you know, which just like sucks, man. Like I don't know, like it should be you know, like after most other media, after some time, it should become like public domain.
That's true.
Like I feel like games should become public domain after they actually probably do. I've never actually looked at that, but I mean, maybe after like 30 years, games should become public domain.
Yeah, well, I'm glad at least, you know, I'm glad at least, like I said, GOG, because, you know, it just sucks for these companies to repackage these games and then sell them at higher prices than they're worth. And one of the games that I did buy was a game that was made by Natsume back on the Super Nintendo. It's called Wild Guns. That game is really...
Yeah, they made the Harvest Moon too.
That game is addicting. Like it's one of those on rail shooters where you just have to dodge fire repeatedly. Like you get one hit deaths and you only get like a couple of lives.
Yeah. You know? Exactly.
But yeah, it's a good thing that they're doing. Anyways, though, let's move on to Microsoft. Let's move on to this the rumors of the Xbox handheld.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's rumors have been flying all year that Xbox is working on a PC gaming handheld, which we'll talk about that in a second. It says that the CEO Phil Spencer confirmed that plans are underway, though it sounds like it's an actual portable device. It's still a few years out, so they're still working on it, if they're even working on it at all. he probably just told him that just to get them out of his face.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. Like it'll just be killed, like every other Microsoft project.
Yeah, I mean,
It'll go the way of the Microsoft phone. Like if this is what it is, it'll just be the Microsoft phone, except it'll just be for gaming.
well, I really don't see like. I mean, it's cool that if they do that, but I really don't see any. I don't see any reason to do that when you got the Steam Deck out there, you got the Asus handheld, you got the Google G handheld and stuff that's all Microsoft based. So it's like,
Yeah.
why would Microsoft need to make an official Xbox handheld? Now, if they plan on just giving you the whole entire Xbox library, then I could see that the way that the PlayStation has theirs. The PlayStation 5 has their whole handheld thing, cloud-based thing. But I don't know. I think that Xbox is late to the party when it comes to this. That's my opinion.
Oh yeah. Oh, so late to the party. Like we already have the Steam Deck. Like you're not gonna beat the Steam Deck, which is just like optimized to play Steam games.
I mean, they're not going to beat it, but at least like if they were going to do this, then they need to put all of the gaming library from the original Xbox, the Xbox 360, and then the Xbox One up. That needs to be on this console.
Yeah.
That's the only way that they're going to grab people's attention, because it's like, man, like I said, the Steam Deck already got that unlocked. That's the best handheld PC out there, period. Not saying that it's perfect, because a lot of people do have issues playing games on there as well too, because nothing's perfect. But they pretty much got it unlocked. So who knows if they'll release this or when they release this. It's just rumors right now, but there you go, straight from the CEO himself. Plans are underway.
Yeah.
Now plans are underway. That can mean just, we were just having coffee and I was talking about it. That don't mean anything's gonna actually happen, man. So I wanted to get
that's what I mean. Like it's Microsoft. The amount of shit that it's Microsoft. Like they're gonna kill it. They just like the Windows Phone, like they're gonna kill it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see, because like I said, had they come out with one during the Xbox One era, then I think they would have stood a chance. Look at the rabbit back there.
What is my rabbit doing on the table? Odie, what are you doing on the table, buddy? You just chilling?
Look at the rabbit over there.
Anyhow, sorry to interrupt you there, folks. Odie, come here.
It's all good.
He's fine.
We had to introduce our guest there.
The Bunny King.
Yes. Anyways, though, let's move on here, because now it's going to be a whole bunch of Nintendo stuff.
Nintendo. Let's go.
Yeah, it says that a streamer who taunted Nintendo faces $7.5 million lawsuit for pirated Switch content. As if Nintendo is not suing people enough for this stuff.
Fuck around and find out.
That is true. And it's like Nintendo was coming down hard on Jesse I think it's Kagan, aka Every Game Guru, who had allegedly been streaming the pirated games on various platforms such as Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. These include The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. According to the lawsuit filed in the Colorado District on November 6th, Kagan, despite prior DMCA takedown notices and cease and desist orders, reportedly continues streaming the games and even guided viewers on running Nintendo games on non-Nintendo hardware.
Oh man, why would you do that? Like, you're an idiot. The rules, if you're emulating, just don't say you're emulating. No one will know.
Yes,
that's the rule when you're streaming.
It's one thing to just stream on the Switch or something like that, but don't tell people.
Yeah.
Tell people how to do that. Like, what was he thinking?
Yeah, like, it's don't ask, don't tell. Don't ask, don't tell. Like, why would you allow yourself to be caught in 4K, in pre-recorded, that anyone can record at any time, deleting the VOD won't do anything. That's one thing. This dude's straight up, like, asking for it here, like, straight up, like, fucking around and finding out, but, like, that's, like, the rule when streaming. Just, like, don't ask, don't tell. Like, no one cares if you're emulating it. Just, like, don't put on a huge sign, hey, I am emulating Nintendo games. Hey, here's how you can emulate Nintendo games.
This guy's not too bright, because he's telling Nintendo and people, you can try to stop me, but I'll keep going. Yeah,
because he was dodging. He was, like, dodging them, wasn't he?
Yeah, for
making new accounts and stuff.
Yeah, because they would have his stuff take down, and then he would just create a new account and just continue to stream. And I'm just like, you asking for it, bro. Like, you are asking for it.
Like, as if Nintendo does not have, like, enough lawyers that they can go to, like, Amazon and YouTube and stuff and be like, give me the data. Right? Like, they can literally just be like, all right, like, we believe these are all the same person. Give us all the data you have on their account.
Yeah. Well, I mean, according to this guy, back on October 24th, he said after certain platforms had taken down his unlawful streams as a result of Nintendo's enforcement actions, he sent a letter boasting that he has thousands of burner channels to stream from. I can do this all day. That's what he said. Not too bright. Not too bright. So if he ends up being broken and having all of his stuff, man, that's on him for being a dumbass. Oh man. I mean, I'm
behind 7 VPNs. Good luck. That kind of shit, like, Jesus.
But my question is, why would you send them all of your accounts? That's dumb. that's so
what I'm saying.
Because now they know all of your Jesus Christ. They know all of your accounts now. So now they can just go and just, all right, ban all of these accounts. What a dumb idiot. Yeah. Oh my God. My grandfather always said, he said money doesn't make people smart.
No.
Come on now.
Sure doesn't.
Anyways, though.
Yep. Anyway.
Now, since we're on the subject of Nintendo, since this other damn thing froze on me.
Oh, jeez.
Give me just 1 second. It says Nintendo profits plunged 69% as it cuts the forecast for sales of the aging Switch console on Tuesday. This was back a couple of weeks ago. It says that that the sales for its fiscal year ending in March 2025 demands wanes for its aging console. It says that it now expects to sell 12.5 million units over the course of the period. That's down from a previous forecast of 13.5 million units.
Oh dear. Oh man, what a loss. What a loss for such a prestigious product. Such a fine piece of hardware that's so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That's so tragic. Only 12.5 million of this archaic design. tragic. No one
Yeah.
saw this coming. It should be at 50 mil for the next 20 years. Terrible.
Yeah, a console that specs were outdated when it first came out, and this console has already exceeded the expected lifespan for a console. And it's like, I don't know, like what do Nintendo fans have to do? Like, do they have to just, storm in the building and say, hey, dumbasses, we want to switch to, stop selling the same console?
Yep, exactly.
And it's like Nintendo, like I said this before, Nintendo's doing the same shit that they did with the 3DS. They milked that thing until there was nothing left.
Yep.
They milked that console until there was nothing but dust coming out of them.
I have a modded 3DS, which they stopped support, so I think now I need to re-update it, but don't tell Nintendo that.
I don't know what they plan on doing, because like I said,
don't report me to Nintendo, guys. I currently am not in possession of one.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But that's down. And it's like, there's rumors, but that's all we got is rumors. It's not anything that Nintendo actually confirmed. Like, they didn't confirm a Switch 2. Yeah. It's just everybody's hyping themselves up, thinking that that's what's gonna happen. And it's like,
it'll come out.
They can't keep doing this shit, man. Like, they can't keep doing this stuff. Everybody's like, it's selling the most consoles. I'm like, yeah, because they've been out longer than the other consoles were.
Yeah, exactly. And it's way past its life cycle, like so far past its life cycle.
Yes, it's time to move on. Like, these guys, they pulled in a revenue of $267.7 billion, or in Japanese yen, 1.8 billion. And I'm like, yeah, that's good, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Just give the fans what they want. Now, this one makes me laugh, because this is another Nintendo story. It's kind of tied in.
Man, so much Nintendo.
It's tied into Nintendo, but it says that the Pentagon is worried that the Nintendo generation can't survive boot camp because of their bones. Their bones are weak.
No.
It says the Department of Defense has once again shown its age and disdain towards Dagum kids and Dagum Nintendos.
No, dang kids. They're dang Nintendos. Oh my god. Of course. But like, if your foot arch is just like, 0.02 millimeters beyond, they reject you. But no, sure, it's the Nintendo. It's the Nintendo. And it's the fact that nobody in a fucking first world country that has comforts like this even wants to go to war.
It's just
always funny.
It sounds like an old man, like literally coming through that story, like, because it's like,
I always love hearing what like the Department of Defense and just the military blames. Like, it's always something. It
says the military health system took aim at the 18 to 25-year-olds and suggested that they having a hard time making it through boot camp because their bones are brittle from playing video games too much.
Honestly, I don't think it's from playing video games too much. I think it's just from not going out into the sun. I think it's more so they didn't get sun as kids. It's that damn phone. Exactly, emulate nostalgia. It probably is, though. Right? Like, we played outside and we got all the sun. Even in the winter time, I still take a vitamin D supplement and everything, right?
Yep. Now, it's kind of hard to disagree a little bit here with this statement. It says today's recruits are coming from a far more sedentary lifestyle compared to previous generations, making their skeletons more prone to injuries. because they are not used to that kind of intense activity and
Yeah.
the basic training, which is kind of true because remember when we were kids, we were outside getting scraped up and bumping around and playing
Running
activities.
around. And they're also, like, if their skeletons are weak, that also tells me that they don't have any muscle to support the skeleton. So the skeleton is taking all the load, you know?
You remember...
Spike in chat said, just really quick, tried to make my little cousin play outside, and he looked at me weird. Yeah! Like, I remember waiting in a McDonald's, and I remember there were these two little boys. They got McDonald's together, and I'm like, oh, and that's cute. Like, they're hanging out, right? And then they sat down, and when I went to fill up my drink cup, I walked past them, and they were both just glued. Like, these kids had to be, like, 10 years old. They were both just glued to their phone eating, not even communicating with each other, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, family dinners don't even exist anymore. That's why I enjoyed the time that I have with my family, because we sat at the table and we talked. We caught up with each other. Nowadays, I don't even think people even sit at the same table no more. Yeah, I think... it's so isolated. I think that if your mother needs to talk to you and you down the hall, like they just freaking FaceTime you.
Oh, I know. It's just, it's crazy. Like, when I stopped scrolling and stuff, like, I stopped scrolling now, and, like, the amount of, God, it was just, like, the greatest choice in the world. Like, I use, like, my screen time is usually dependent, like, an hour and a half a day. Depends on how much I'm reading before bed in the morning. Like, but all day now, like, I have actively chosen, like, I lose my phone. I forget where it is at this point, right? And it's so freeing because, like, you can't just, like, sit inside all day hunched over a phone, like, with fried dopamine, right? Like, it's gonna ruin your life.
Spike
and a lot of these...
Spike has a point. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, Spike.
No, I'm just saying, like, it screws you up. Go ahead.
Spike has a point. Kids shouldn't have phones. They should be kids and have a natural childhood as a kid. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You got kids that are 7 years old that got iPhones. Why? Like, when I was 7 years old, my brother and I had to race to see who would get to the house phone first. It's not.
Well, I think one thing I have heard people say, who have kids around that age, is it really, really sucks when you're the only kid without a phone.
Yeah, well,
that's one of the things. Like, it's now, like, that world has been so fully formed that, like, they need to have a phone in a way, but, like, if you do not heavily monitor their usage of the phone, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so weird now, but it's, like, it's just parents who just give them the phone, though.
I didn't get mine. I didn't get my first phone until I was like 17.
Yeah, but we didn't live in a world where you needed to be connected that way.
Yeah.
Everyone's connected that way, which sucks, right? Like, but I can totally see it. Like, I would want my child, there's childproof phones, though. Like, there's, like, different kinds of safety phones you can get where it's completely locked down. And it even, like, has an app that you connect to your phone that tells you every single thing that is going on that phone, right? And like, if I had to give my kid a phone, I would do that. And then phone time would be like, okay, you get maybe like 45 minutes while you're doing something to talk with your friends, and then I'm taking it for the night. That's what I would do, right? Like, because you can't fight kids like that. Like, yeah, this is just, I'm not a parent yet, but, like, I've thought about this and talked to a lot of, like, parents who have kids these age. Like, you want what's best for your kid, but you kind of have to pick and choose because you also don't want to socially alienate them, because that's going to cause them problems too, right? It's so weird, but I've thought about this. I think I would just go with like a safety phone. Or yeah, like Nostalgia said, there's an app that makes them dumb phones, right? So like they feel like they belong and fuck them up socially, but you're not letting some like creeps. You're not letting like all the creeps into your home via your phone, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but parents gotta find a balance because the kids these days are too damn spoiled, man. Like, no, I don't think any 6-year-old child should be walking around with a $2,000 phone. That makes no sense to me. What the hell?
I never. That's fucking crazy to me too. Like you're getting like my kid would be getting like a shitty $100 like phone. Here you go, make it last your entire, make it last till the end of high school. Congrats.
My kid would not get, like, if I had a kid, like a biological child. I mean, Lori already's got her own phones and stuff. Yeah. But if I had a kid, that kid would not get a phone until they're like 16. What the hell you need a phone for?
Yeah,
that's just
I would just have it so they don't feel alienated. But that's
I mean, kids are always gonna do that stuff. Like they used to do that when I was a kid, man. Like I didn't get my first Nintendo until like I said, 92. Everybody already had one. By the time I got one, people were moving on to the Super Nintendo. And then I got that one.
Born into using a computer.
So I was
born into the computer.
Yeah, I was a step behind because I had a single dad that that had to work to get his stuff, to get us that stuff. Yeah. So it's like, people are always gonna do that, and it's like kids need to learn how to shrug that shit off, man. It's like it's just kids being kids.
But yeah, here's the thing though, Ken. I was born into having a computer. Like we had a computer with MS-DOS when I was born, right? You were late to adopt the gaming life later than I was. Here's the difference. We were both told to go outside, blow the sink off you.
I wasn't late. My mother
said, go blow the sink off you.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I was late to the game because I was in, like, even though I didn't have the.
How old were you got your first?
Yeah, but my
console then.
My first Nintendo, but I was in the arcades before that.
That's true. Oh yeah, you were in the arcades. I'm just talking about still, like, arcades are still going outside though.
Yeah.
That's the difference. When you get the Nintendo, that's what I'm comparing it to. See, but we still went outside. Yeah, even if you had a console, you still wanted to go outside.
Yeah, we used to play dodgeball, basketball. Football, things like that. We would go to the park pool. We would go to these kids don't go outside to do anything now.
And because of that, like they're starting to disappear. Places for kids aren't getting funded anymore. There's no like rec centers. Like they're all losing funding because kids aren't going to them. Kids don't even go to the mall anymore because what the fuck's in the mall? It's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you can get everything
there's nothing in there.
You can get everything offline now. And now, that's why it explains why the obesity rate is so high. We got a whole bunch of Oompa Loompas walking around because these kids don't get no exercise. They don't take their asses outside and walk.
Exactly.
I picture a modern kid now like that gamer in South Park. Remember the World of Warcraft? That big fat dude that's just sitting there eating chips off his stomach.
Yeah.
That's like the picture. That's like the picture of a modern day child.
That's my spirit animal. That is my spirit animal.
And it's sad, But
you continue. I must be right back. Go ahead.
It's true. I mean, because it's like we do have to worry about that stuff because these kids are going to be police officers. They're going to be firefighters. They're going to be in the military. And if they can't train and do these things the way that the older generations do, we're screwed. Like, can you imagine someone that's weak and out of shape? Your house is on fire, God forbid. And then you got a whole bunch of fat, out of shape dudes trying to climb up a ladder, trying to save your ass. Like, you're going to die, man. This is what it is. You're going to die, man. It's just, oh my God, man. So yeah, I think that there is some truth to what the military is saying. Let me look at some of these messages here. Spike. When I was a kid, I remember that teachers and etc. used to give us some push to play around with other kids. Yeah, we had recess, so we would interact with other kids all the time. So it was like being social. When I was a kid, I had to call and ask my friend's mom if he could come over and play. Yeah, those days are long gone. Those days are long gone. Now parents now parents are all protective with their kids and going outside and playing. It's a combination of some of that stuff, because you have parents that they're working all the time. They don't care. You know what I mean? So it's like you have those parents that are just like, whatever. They don't think about how important it is for their kids to get out and socialize. But then you have parents, you have Karen parents who put their kids in these bubble wraps and just try to, oh, you don't want to do this because you'll get sick. Oh, you don't want to play here because of this. Oh, you don't want to do that because of that. And these kids, it's robbing kids of their childhood. It really is.
Yeah. Yep. Of their childhood, and just like so much social development, and just like, yeah, I've heard now there's a lot of people who, they're becoming teenagers, like, this age group they're talking about, and they're unequipped for the real world. Like the real world is just like a mystery to them, because all they've known is just like online, right? And they can't like handle emotions. They can't communicate properly.
Yep.
They don't know how to. It's like Ezio says here, like kids now just multitask, group FaceTime. Yeah, while doom scrolling. That's what I've seen. I've seen that, and like you're not even talking to each other. Like you're not even talking to each other. You're not interacting with each other. You're not learning how to be a human in society.
There's a lot of things that are bad about that, because even the basic things to be a productive human being, like cooking, knowing how to wash your clothes, knowing how to change a tire, for God's sakes. Yeah. A lot of them don't even know how to do that. Like, how many times I would be driving on the highway, and you got people that don't know how to change the tire on their car, or don't have the proper tools to change the tire in their car. I'm like, didn't your parents teach you to always be prepared?
Oh yeah, like I can fix anything that breaks in my house. Like I'm fully independent, like if like, say for God's sakes, like something was to flood or whatever, I know how to turn the water line off. Like I know how to do things.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like there's a world out there, and it seems ironic for me to say, because I stream and stuff, right? Like that's a lot of my online and stuff, but it's still, at the end of the day, it will not replace actual human interaction.
Yeah.
Right? Like I love interacting with people, but you do still need human interaction outside of it.
That's true.
You still need that.
That's true, and it's like I said, it's a dying breed now, because a lot of people don't do that anymore. Like, I mean, for God's sakes, dating is online now.
Yeah, I know. Oh, no one wants to just like meet people. It's wild, and that is like, that's such a weird one to me too, because like, no, like how would you even want to date someone? You just like, I don't know. Like it's already just based off superficial profile, and then the minute that you don't meet their superficial expectations, okay, well, there's hundreds of more people for me to scroll.
Yeah, and you know what's weird? You know what's even more weird than that? If somebody explained to me how the hell a doctor can do a checkup from FaceTime. Don't you have to physically be there for them to check you out? Like,
I know, I hate that.
What is the point of virtual doctor's visits? That makes no sense to me.
I know. I know. Like it's okay. See, I understand it if you have like this huge rash and they like put it up to the camera, right? Those ones I understand, right? But like, I I've had nasal issues recently, and that was suggested to me, and I'm like, how the hell are you gonna see all the way up there with like through a phone? I'm not having you guess when it's so close to my brain. Like, do not guess what's wrong when this is like it's so close to my brain, please.
It's so
Please.
stupid. It's so stupid, and it doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm like, whoever came up with that, you're a dumbass, dude. Seriously. And be like, oh, I got this cough, doc. We'll put the iPad to your knee. Let me.
We'll put the iPad.
You know, like, come on, man. Like, oh my
put
god.
Put the iPad
dude.
to your knee. Good. Right.
Yeah,
anyway,
let's move on. We got one more.
Yeah.
Oh my god, with this damn laptop. Okay, I thought it froze on me. I was about to say. All right, we got.
Oh dear.
We got one more Nintendo story. Remember when we was talking about the whole lawsuit between Nintendo and the makers of Power World?
Yeah.
It's saying that it took an absurd turn. You know, several weeks ago. It says that that the three things that Nintendo is actually suing about is more clear in this case. It says the first patent is that it's about aiming and firing some sort of item towards a character in the field. It literally specifies that triggering a combat state. So Nintendo's suing about that. That's the first patent that they said that they violated. The second one.
Okay.
Continue
then.
The second one is something about being able to capture a creature in the wild rather than in a battling state. So that's a weird one too. And then the third one is about riding creatures in an open world and transitioning between those creatures. That's what Nintendo's suing about? That's what they're butthurt about?
Woo-hoo, it's all been done. Woo-hoo, it's all been done before. Like, what the fuck, Nintendo? Like, are you kidding me? Nintendo actually does have fucking weird patents. Like, they have patents on what's the game they have that has the sanity system, Eternal Darkness, Sandy's Requiem. Like, they do have weird fucking powers, but like all those things, I could point to like 50 other things. The thing is it's because it looks like Pokemon.
Man, but that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they didn't invent any of that stuff. That stuff was done before they got it. It's like, what kind of shit is that? You're gonna waste money on that? I would love to be the judge, to have to sit there and listen to this shit. Like, give me a break. They're suing these guys. I think it's about $66,000 in US and 10 million yen over that. Oh,
they're fighting them for the principle of it. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're just fighting it for the principle. Like, that, I think that's what they're trying. That's the reason why they're going with it, is they're just like trying to say like fuck you, Nintendo, and trying to fight them just to make a point. Like, that's what they're doing, I think, is the reason why they did it. Is to just like get this entire conversation going.
I think this thing is the biggest waste of time that I've ever seen in my almost 40 years on this planet. They're wasting all of it, not Power World, but Nintendo. They're wasting all of this damn money just going after people for some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. They're so greedy, man.
But that's the point of it, right? Is every time they shut these people down, they're setting a precedent for the next times they want to shut people down, right? So it is funny to me it is funny to me, right? Like, yeah, it's only $66,000, which is crazy, but it's what it represents, which I'm glad we're actually like talking about this kind of stuff now. Like, the legal system is starting to catch up, thankfully, but I'm still excited to see what happens.
You know what? I didn't think it was possible, but I honestly believe that Nintendo is a Karen in the video game world.
Oh, of course.
Always something to complain about, always being a professional victim. And it's like, dude, just leave people alone. Like, why do you have to go after everybody? I thought PETA was bad.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Like, Nintendo's like, hold my beer, we can do better.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't see, even if Nintendo won, like, what's to be gained from this? Like, what do they gain from this besides bragging rights?
They can use that in court. They can use it in court against. That's the entire point of this. That's the entire point of bullshit like this is if they win this, they can now extend like those things that those bullshit things that they are saying, like, you can't do this, like, because we own this. If they win this, then they have, because of that, they set a precedent that allows them to fuck over every other, like, any other thing that has those patents. That's basically what they do. That's all what all these legal battles for video game companies and stuff are. They're continuing to set a legal precedent so that their lawyers can look back at this and say, okay, well, this judge and this judge and this judge and this judge ruled not guilty for a case that's the exact same as this, essentially, right? And then the judge goes, oh, okay, Nintendo gets to take all your shit. That's what they try to do. That's what these legal battles are for. It's not about the money. It's so that they can set it in stone. They can do it more in the future, essentially.
Do you think that Nintendo wants to absorb all of these gaming franchises? Like, how long do you think it'll be, like, if they won this, for them to go after Capcom because of Monster Hunter?
I don't think they would be. It depends on when the patent was. It would depend on what was being released, when it would. There's so many different, variables to it. Yeah. Like, so many. It would be case by case. But stuff like this is just always a mess.
It's sad and it's pathetic, too, because, Nintendo has enough stuff, to hold themselves above water. I know I crack on the Switch and how old and antiquated it is, but Nintendo's good. There's no reason for them to be attacking streamers and having music channels taken down and all of this stuff. Like, why? I don't get it. This is the type of shit that makes me hate Nintendo. Stupid shit like this. Anyways, though. Yeah. So let's move on. I don't know, from one crazy company to another. Sega. And this will probably be the only time you ever hear me mention anything about Sega, because this is the only time that they're actually relevant for anything. Sega pulled down 60 plus games from Steam, from the Xbox Store, PlayStation, and Switch stores. The wave of removals will impact numerous well-loved titles from the Sega Dreamcast, the Sega Genesis, and the Sega console eras. This includes, like, the best-selling driving simulator Crazy Taxi, that's gone. Sega Bass Fishing is gone. Jet Set Radio, which was a good game. Shinobi, which that hurts my heart. Shinobi, I love that game, man.
Yeah.
I used to play the shit out of that game. It also, Golden Axe, which was a game I used to play in the arcade, Streets of Rage, they took that down.
Yeah.
Now,
but it's because they want to remaster it.
That's true. I think that
they're trying, they're just trying to, they're trying to take it back, which is crazy that Sega's trying to do it. But yeah, they did. Yeah, I guess they're trying to remaster it. Like a Shinobi remaster would be sick.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, going back to the whole GOG thing, that's why I'm glad that they got that in place.
Yeah.
You know, to hold that, because maybe people don't want to remaster. Maybe they just want to be able to just play those old games. And it's like, that's, you know, that's, you should be able to do that. And I did read about them releasing the Sega, what was it, the Sega HD2, like the mini that has like
Yeah.
all of these games on there and stuff. I don't know what Sega's planning to do. Maybe they are
No.
maybe they are doing remasters, but it says they're going to be okay. It says they're going to be reimagined for the modern audience.
So remakes or whatever, new games, like, you never know. That's all right, like, as long as they deliver.
They even took down, and I thought they were crazy when I heard this, they even took down the Sonic franchise.
Yeah.
So whatever they got
Wild.
planned, they better come through, because it's got to account for all the. I mean, you took down all of your stuff off of
Yeah,
all
good
of
luck,
these
Sega.
stores, so you better know what the hell
They're
you're
already
doing.
hanging by a thread, too. They're already hanging by an absolute thread, too. Like, Sega doesn't have much to ride on, so I hope for the best for them.
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, maybe they got a new console in mind. Who knows? We'll just have to see.
Yeah, you never know.
But to take it off Steam,
We'll see.
the Xbox store, Sony, and Nintendo, that's getting rid of a lot of money, folks.
Yeah, I wonder if they're they must be relicensing them.
Well,
What it's going to be like.
we'll have to see. We'll have to see. That doesn't mean that there's going to be another Dreamcast 2 or anything like that. So I hope people don't get this stuff in their head.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe
That's true.
maybe Sega plans on doing their own streaming service.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Like, they may do their own streaming service where they could just put all of their games on there. Now, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, we shall see. Echo, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe. Yeah, you know what? A Golden Axe remaster would actually be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Alter Beast too. Like, can you imagine an Alter Beast game in today's graphics? Oh my God! With you being able to turn into the werewolf and the were dragon
That'd
and the
be
were
cool.
bear.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
cool.
Like, if they actually do something with it, it'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is Sega. How much money could they possibly have? Like, I don't even know. Anyways,
Exactly.
So now we get to talk about Sony.
Sony.
Good old Sony. It says that the Sony boss admits that forcing PC gamers into PlayStation accounts can invite pushback, but insists that they keep games safe. This is his words.
Huh?
Explain to that how
What?
exactly that's even possible. It says Sony president and COO Hiroki Togoki acknowledged that the company's plan to push PlayStation Network account linking on famously resistant PC gamers can invite pushback rather than offering these accounts, in his words. But the company is sticking to its guns, insisting that it's essential to ensure that anybody can enjoy the game safely. This is his words. We have learned a lot. He begins. This is what he says. The way to face issues regarding PC, for instance, the PlayStation accounts that we offer, well, actually, by offering them for some instance, sometimes that tends to invite pushback, which he keeps saying over and over again. But for the live service games, in order to maintain order and gaming so that anybody can enjoy these games safely, we need to create an environment conducive to the end, of course, enjoying the games freely. So what he's saying is he thinks that it's essential to force PC gamers to have to create a PSN account because he thinks that it keeps the game safe. What does one have to do with the other?
I'm guessing it's their own form of DRM, is what he's trying to say.
It's more
Like it in like weasel words. I think those are weasel words right there. I think those are weasel words trying to say it's DRM. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
DRM. It's more like POS. Because I don't.
Yeah.
Because he's so full of shit.
It's gotta be.
He's so full of shit.
Those sounds like
man.
weasel words.
Because it's like what is forcing that? So it's already bad enough when you're a PC gamer. You have to have the Steam account. If you're playing a game like The Division, you gotta have the Ubisoft thing. Then you gotta have the Epic game launch if you're playing Fortnite or something like that.
Yep.
And then you gotta have the not what's it, Ubisoft? Or is it EA?
Epic launcher, you got EA launcher.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many fucking launchers now.
And it's like, you would think that, I mean, come on, I don't want to have to get no PSN account. I don't even have a PlayStation.
No, exactly.
I haven't had a PlayStation in what? Since 2010?
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's just another way just to force money out of people. Like, get the hell out of here, man. With that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's to keep the game safe. Oh.
Yeah, no, it's definitely just DRM.
And it just, like Nostalgia said, emulator. He's like, it makes PC players not want to play so they can't cheat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, DRM stops you from using like mods and so many things.
Well, look, I mod costumes. That's it. I mod costumes.
Yeah, but some will stop you. Some will stop you.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I like modding games and stuff. You know, like where playing through. I'm playing through Resident Evil 3 as Ada, which is fun.
Yeah, I love games where I can be Isaac. I love games where I can be Isaac. Like, if I can be Isaac, I'm going to be Isaac in a modded game. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It does not matter. And doing that in Resident Evil 2 was so fun. Just running around as Isaac shooting shit. Oh, man. But yeah, it's stupid.
I don't have it in Resident Evil 2, but I do have it in Resident Evil 4 with Leon having the whole Isaac get up.
Oh yeah, it's so cool. It's so fun.
You know, but I don't believe nothing he's saying. It's just another restriction that they put on us, and I hate restrictions, man. Just leave us alone and just let us play the games the way we've been playing for years now. Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't sign up for no PSN account. I don't even know if my PSN account even still exists.
Right?
And
it's probably hacked at this point.
And I honestly think if I did pull that shit up, it would still have my tag on there that Resident Evil 5 sucks. Because I remember that was the last thing that I put on there.
That's funny.
I was like, man, this game sucks. And then I went and bought the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Anyways, though. So we're still on the subject of Sony. It says devs are investigating why their games look bad on the PS5 Pro.
Well,
you know,
why do they think?
we talked a little bit about this though. It says the developers of the developers of games that players report back look worse on the PS5 Pro than they did on the PS5, and they are looking into the issue. The PS5 Pro is an advanced version, quotation marks, advanced version of the base console that's designed to deliver better performance and graphics. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah. But yeah, what does it say? Using AI powered upscaling. That's probably it.
You think that's
like, if they're talking about AI upscaling in Silent Hill 2, I can already tell you why it looks like shit.
Blurry.
I can already tell you why it looks like shit from having to upscale fucking Silent Hill 3. Like, I can already tell you why AI upscaling is making it look like trash. Like, on top of everything else. Like, but like, that's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like more like AI upscaling. You're
Yeah,
wondering why it's trash.
yeah, it has the PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, and that's like, if you're a PC gamer, sometimes that shit can make your game look like crap. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
when I'm playing through Resident Evil 4, like they have like the super scaling, or even Dead by Daylight. I don't turn that shit on, because it just
Some
makes,
of them have it forced.
yeah, like I believe
The worst.
Fortnite does. They have it forced.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why everything looks
Horrible.
all blocky and jagged and blurry and stuff like that. And it's like, first off, I'd never even heard of that AI scaling system right there. I mean, did they just come up with that out of thin air, or like has that been around for a while?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I have no clue. I have no clue, but like what the fuck? Like I don't know. Yeah, like cuz that would be more like FSR, which I fucking hate. And then AI, like yeah, I always turn that shit off, like.
Yeah, it's just, it can make your game look worse, and it's saying that it offers an additional mode for players who want to play at a higher frame rate without sacrificing image quality. But if your image is all blurry and shit, and I mean, it's just like, come on, man. I don't know why they thought that this was a good idea. You know, like, I think that's what it is. Like, they literally just call it the PS5 Pro. I read the specs for y'all. It really isn't that different from the original. They just added this garbage to it. Oh,
yep, more or less the same.
It's the same console, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and it's like they wonder why their games don't look good on it. Like they listed Star Wars Jedi Survivor and the Resident Evil 2. I got that on the brain. Silent Hill 2 remake. It says that they've been. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sorry.
It says,
I don't know. Like Silent Hill 2 is just like hell for upscaling.
It says that they have found graphical issues and glitches on the PS5 Pro. And you know what they'll end up doing? They'll probably end up just sending out patches, just like they do with all of these consoles.
Oh yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
And they Sony's not even really commenting on it. Like, people are reporting visual issues with Alan Wake 2. Now, you know how beautiful the Alan Wake games are and the Control games are.
But man, that is so badly designed. It's bad design, okay? Like when you open the map in Alan Wake, there is a second room. It doesn't just open the map. It has to load the room and then render the room and then render the map texture for you to check something for 2 seconds. That pissed me off about Alan Wake. That made Alan Wake not fun for me at all. That was one thing that killed Alan Wake for me, because I am a constant map checker, and I just need to, but that was one thing. That was bad design. They can bitch all they want, but that was bad design.
Well, it's just like those hard games that have you go into rooms that have nothing in it. Like you have to go through all the mansion just to find a key to a room that just has like a note that you read. I'm like, that's all that's in here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's just like
exactly.
The Resident Evil 2 remake. People keep asking me, like, I'll just answer this real quick, but they keep asking me, why do I skip the diamond doors, like the diamond key doors? Because there's nothing. There's nothing important in those.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
Like Claire only needs it for one door, and that's just to get the elevator activated. Leon doesn't need that shit at all. There is no reason for you to get the diamond key.
Bad for that. Silent Hill's bad for giving you rooms just full of monsters and nothing else in there.
Like that room in the hospital in Silent Hill 3 where you just go in, there's just a whole bunch of nurses.
Yep. Oh, it's the worst. Yeah.
It's evil, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they gotta fix it. So I don't know if they plan on just sending out patches for this console, like updates, which is what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm saying, like, if you have the original PS5, just stick to that. There's no reason to get this shit. Like, come on. Just stick to that.
Exactly.
We got two more things going on here. I forgot to include this in the notes, but I did want to talk about it. Because of the success of the Fallout series, Amazon is working on a Mass Effect series now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I definitely want to check that out, because a Mass Effect is something that I could see being like a actual movie, or like a cartoon movie or something like that. And it says that it says that
it blends well.
That Amazon MGM Studios is now developing a Mass Effect TV series written and exclusively produced by the writer of the Fast and Furious 9.
Wonder how that'll be.
There are no details on it, but that's what, apparently that's what's going. It says, thanks to the success of the Fallout TV show, that they want to go on this. And they also did Like a Dragon, Yakuza. They also did that one as well too. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. When I get more details, I will talk about that. But that's pretty much all.
Yeah, see how it goes.
That they put there. Now, this is something that Kelsey really wants to talk about, and we're gonna have a discussion.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the 20th anniversary Half-Life documentary yet? I have not yet. I am going to tonight. I'm going to finally sit down. But this is actually interesting. I like this because Gabe finally they kind of go into why Half-Life 3 never happened. Like what happened. And here I'll just read what they said. What happened? What happened in episode 3 is no big surprise. The gist is that they didn't know how to push the game design forward enough to make it feel worthwhile to them. They did say they were making like an ice gun and stuff. Like I'm just briefly talking about this, but that ice gun was apparently not up to Valve's standards of innovation, nor were the blob enemies that use portal tech. In the documentary, Half-Life 2 level designer David Riller said that they were experiencing element fatigue and needed to go bigger or do something else. Basically, what had happened is, they had to... There's like so much. It's amazing. I can't wait to watch. I'm going to watch this tonight. But basically what happened is, they had to put their energy into a bunch of different other IPs. They had to do Left 4 Dead, and then by the time they were like, okay, what do we do for Half-Life 3? They were like, we kind of want a new source engine, like we need to do this, we could need to do that. And like they just couldn't decide. And then I kind of get it because like Valve and Steam, like they were blowing up and stuff. So I think like look how long it took to get the new source engine out. Right? So I think their priorities probably just like shifted. They went from, being largely a developer to a distributor. So I can see that taking a lot of stuff, but I'm interested in watching this. I just thought I just wanted to get that out there because I will actually I can actually even just post the link here to it in chat. I will just post that link there. But yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight. It's just interesting to know, to just like know what happened, like why they didn't do it. But there's so many factors. It's just nice to finally like know what happened.
It's kind of a mixed bag because it's like, I mean, there could be so many factors going on to this whole thing. Maybe they just had their hands tied, like you said, what other franchises, and maybe they just kind of forgot. Sometimes it happens when you got a large workload. It is what it is. Maybe they took a look at it and they said, you know what, I don't think this is good enough. I think we're just gonna scrap it. And you know what,
exactly,
respect to them for that, because it's like I would rather them do that, like we said earlier. I'd rather them do that than for them to just release a half-ass game that everybody's gonna bitch about.
I think they narrowly avoided the curse of the third installment, is what I think. Like they did release Half-Life Alyx, but that was bomb. So like I think they I think they did, like, I bet you anything it's a blessing we didn't get Half-Life 3 now. Like, now that I hear this, like, they probably saw they were going to get the curse of the third installment, right? Where you guys know sometimes the third installment is just fucking shit. And it's never a surprise when the third game is shit. There's exceptions, but it's never a surprise when the third game is shit in a series, right? Yeah. So, I would check this out.
And maybe they took maybe they felt like graphically there was nothing that they could actually do that was new. And I wish that a lot of companies would do that these days because and I'm looking at you, Bethesda.
Yeah.
You know, because
new engine, please.
Because if they was to like, you know what, this is not gonna work for our fans, let's pull it back. We're not gonna cancel it, but we're gonna, make a new engine or do something newer so that we can give them more bang for their buck. I wish a lot of companies would do that. So I have respect for them for doing that. And I know people really want that badly, just like the people who keep talking about Evil Within 3. Do you really want an Evil Within 3?
Yeah. Do you want a chance that, like, it's going to be so far away? Like, Evil Within 2 had nothing to do with Evil Within 1. So, like, do you want a chance that?
Exactly. Like, do you really want an Evil Within 3? Like, I don't. I think that 2 was, it was it was all right. But, you know, it'll just make the story more convoluted.
Exactly.
And it's
exactly.
And I'm just like, I'm not clamoring for that. Like, look, you guys know how I feel. I don't play first-person shooters, but I know that that's one of the... I did play the engine when I played Cry of Fear.
Yeah.
So I know that it's extremely popular, and it's just like, at least he gave us an explanation.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, I'm gonna peep it out too. And then we could talk about it on the next show. Because remember when Capcom was just canceling games and not telling us why? They canceled 4 Mega Man games. Remember that?
Yep.
And didn't give no...
But they're never going to tell you why.
Exactly. They never gave us no reason. Instead, they blame the fans. Like what Mega Man Legends 3, they created a whole dev site where fans could go and put their ideas on what they wanted to see in the game.
And then they blame the fans.
And then they just canceled it. And they said, well, there wasn't enough fan input. I'm like, are you kidding me, dude?
Okay, then. Like, we weren't going to do the job for you, but all right.
Yeah, it's just
crazy.
There's a lot of 3s that we could have gotten that could have basically ruined the series. Like a Parasite Eve 3.
Exactly. Yeah.
We already had
Dino Crisis 3.
We already had that.
Dino Crisis 3.
We already had a Dino Crisis 3 on the original Xbox.
A good one.
Dinosaurs in Space.
A good Dead Space. Dead Space, there's so many.
Garbage.
So I guess we avoided the curse.
Yeah, we did. Technically, I guess you could say technically the third birthday is the third Parasite Eve.
Yeah, but they lost the rights to the book, didn't they? For that one, and they had to change it, I think.
Yeah, I remember. I remember being hyped about that, man. But not all 3s.
Yeah,
not all 3s are bad. Because Devil May Cry 3 is the best in the series to me.
Silent Hill 3 is great.
Silent Hill 3 is the best to me.
Silent Hill 3 is great. Yeah.
So I love those
There's
3.
Tons.
Mega Man X3.
Yeah.
That's my favorite in the series. Mega Man 3 is my favorite out of the classic series. Yeah. So
there's tons. Yeah.
We'll
never know, and maybe that's for the best.
Yeah, Castlevania 3 was great. It's hard as hell, but it was great. But we'll never know, but at least, like I said, he gives us an explanation. So, it's not a Duke Nukem Forever situation.
Exactly. Good.
When you guys finally got it, you was like, that's it. This is it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. We wait all this time. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'd rather them pull the plug. Anyways, though, we are at the end here. At the end of our notes. It's so good to be back. I'm not streaming today. Normally I would do like a, like an extra gaming stream, but I'm tired and I'm old.
Yeah.
And I want to get some sleep. Thank you to everyone that showed up for episode 17. We will be back in 2 weeks for episode 18.
Yes.
Of the Hot Takes podcast. And Kelsey, it is always a pleasure. It's always fun.
Thank you, Ken.
And I missed every single one of you guys. You guys have a great day. I'm going to eat some Taco Bell and sleep because I'm off tomorrow anyways, so nobody will be here.
Enjoy. Enjoy, Ken. Hell yeah.
Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all later. I will have this show pushed up. I got to do a couple of I got to do some editing, and then I'll have it pushed out to the feed for everybody to listen to. So I will see y'all tomorrow when I play some more Tomb Raider Legends.
All right, and I will be back. So I'll be back on Tuesday. We're going to do Observer. And then after that, I'm not going to stream today either. I'm hungry. After that, we're going to pick from the list. So I will see all you beautiful people Tuesday. See ya.
Later.
All right, good.